all the viewers watching us. You might be having some questions putting up in your minds that if you want to ask, you can now ask these questions, because now we are going to start with the questionnaire session. You can write your questions into the comment box that will reach to us, and we'll flash it on the screen. And to give your answers, I will now like to invite on the screen. Start with Mr. Srinivas Joshi, President, AOAC India section. Can you please have you on screen, sir?
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir. Welcome. And next, I would like to invite Dr. Saurabh Arora, Treasurer, AOAC India section. Can you please have you on screen, sir?
Good afternoon to everyone.
Good afternoon, sir. And next, I would like to invite on screen Dr. Lalita Gaura, recipient of Sir C.V. Raman Young Scientist Award for Life Sciences 1997. Can you please have you on screen, ma'am?
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to this virtual meet. And now I would leave the screen to all of you to answer the comments. That is the questionnaire. So can we please have the questions?
Thank you so much, Kanika. And thank you, Dr. Lalita and Srinivas. It's always nice to have everybody here. It's been a very nice session, and healthy discussion has been going on in the chat. I think everybody has been participating quite actively there. We'll just take some of the questions which are already there, and everybody who is online, you're please welcome to continue asking any questions you'd like to us to address. We try and answer as many of them as possible right away. And if there is something that needs to be directed to the experts who are not here, because we're all in different time zones, so we will be sending across these questions to them, and they will share their answers, by email, and we will get back to you on the website. So I think the first question that we can see on our screen is from Dr. Niladri, and Dr. Lalita, I think you will be the best person to answer this, as it is to the honey authenticity. So Dr. Niladri is asking that Manuka honey is again a high value product available through different online platforms. And is there any regulatory mechanism in India to check for the authenticity of the Manuka honey being sold online?
Thanks for that question. No, we do not have any regulatory any regulations. Our regulations only say the Carbosa calosa honey, or if you label it as unifloral, means from a particular plant species, your pollen count has to be in the total pollen count, 45% or higher must be there, or multifloral. We do not have any regulations for to check whether it is Manuka honey.
Okay. Another question from Niladri again. Are there any authentic procedures for stingless honey?
As I clearly indicated, very few countries have got regulations for stingless bee honey. India doesn't have a regulation, neither does EFSA have a regulation, nor does FDA have a regulation. I have found the regulation only in Malaysia and Australia. Actually, the stingless bee honey has a higher moisture content, and it also has a higher maltose content, but it is produced in very small quantities compared to the honeybee honey, because these stingless bees are very small. Maybe they are less than 1/3 the size of the honeybee.
Okay. So another question from Devi Sharma. How many minimum parameters can be determined for finding geographical origin of honey?
This is a difficult question to answer. As you could see from my presentation, I said there's not a single parameter that you can use, because honey is quite complicated. For geographical origin as such, I have not seen any parameter, because I did not come across studies showing principal component analysis of different geographical regions. Mainly currently, I think it is the floral, whether it is unifloral or multifloral. If you have to do geographical origin, you need to analyze at least 400 to 500 samples of honey across the world, and use some of these parameters. Maybe the amino acids, as I said, because cysteine and methionine content, in some of the European honeys is missing, whereas in the other honeys you find it. So this is a tedious and a cumbersome task, but I'm sure people are doing it for the honey analysis. At least 400 to 500 samples have to be analyzed.
Great. So, question from Dr. Anoop Krishnan. So, whether we have any performance criteria in the AOAC for methods pertaining to food authenticity?
Yes,
Dr. Joshi.
yes, yeah, yes. We do have the performance criteria for the targeted as well as non-targeted authenticity testing. So this is a part of a program which is ongoing, wherein you might have seen Dr. Palmer Orlandy's presentation, wherein he explained these criteria are already defined, and there is a SMPR also for the targeted authenticity, standard methods performance requirement. So the more information pertaining to the performance criteria pertaining to the various technologies, we will try to get more information and try to get back to you on this. But the first point of answer, yes, AOC has the performance criteria for this.
Another common question which was there during the discussions, I was looking at the chat as it was going on, is that it seems that for any work to be done on authenticity, the availability and collection of the standard specimens, authentic specimens of these different products, that seems to be a common challenge. So, how do you feel this should be approached with the Indian perspective? How we can work together, and maybe AOAC India can play a role in facilitating this. So, Dr. Lalita, what is your opinion on this and the general practice towards this?
See, when we're talking about authenticity or for honey as such, authenticity, see, to address the production authenticity, we have methods. That is by doing the C12 or C13, so that adulteration of sugars is there. But to address the botanical and geographic origin, as I said, if we use the pollen count, which is, the pollen microscopic thing, which is very authentic, we need to have a database. We need to have a database of all the pollen micrographs of the flowers in the country, which the honeybees could use. Then we need to have a database of all the honeys or a fingerprint of all the honeys that are produced across the country. I don't think we can have a certified reference material, because the certified reference material would just tell you a particular honey. But yes, if you want to test and say this is Manuka honey, you can get authentic Manuka honey and use that as a base fingerprint. So for many of these, like particular honeys, if you are sure of the source, then you could get it. In addition, I want to say we are also trying to put up the methods in this regard for the nutraceuticals and thing, where that is humongous because we have so many herbs and things. But there, we are looking at, certified reference materials would be available because those herbs are defined. They know it. It is not something that is traded, across, because it is mainly for the labeling purposes. But honey, because it is a traded commodity and this geographic origin, we need to have, as a researcher, I would say you need to pick up get the authentic samples. And as I think Professor Elliott said, if anyone is interested for doing the thing, they can submit their samples. And so maybe in this way, we can increase the authenticity database, whether it be for fish or for honey or for any other commodity. Thank you.
So, Dr. Joshi, would you like to add upon that, Srinivas, whether we can, how you feel maybe we can facilitate that and how the labs and members of AOC India, we could all work together toward this. Hello,
Yeah,
Mr. Joshi? Yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Srinivas.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I missed half of a
Okay.
sentence. Yeah, yeah.
So I was asking that how do you feel maybe AOAC, the members and the labs and everybody who's part of this, we could facilitate with getting the authentic samples or the samples together.
Yeah, definitely. We can really act a bridge between, say, for around Chris Elliott's lab and the Indian authorities who are really interested in some kind of collaboration with Chris lab. What Chris was really explaining, that any kind of samples for the authenticity, they can always write an email to him. And also in terms of any initiative pertaining in Indian stakeholders, what we feel is we can have a discussion again with the AOC International pertaining to the food authenticity methods program, which has been started in 2019, and in 2020 also it is in progress. We can get few more insights from that, and we can initiate some initiative in India. And
Uh,
especially as far as I know, there are absolutely all the protocols for the targeted authenticity testing, but I need to really check on the non-targeted authenticity testing in terms of the performance criteria and other things.
Great. There's a question from Pintu Bhattacharya, whether similar to fish authenticity, are data on meat products also available?
Yeah, just to answer this, the authenticity of fish is very different from that of meat, because in terms of fish, we are looking at species. Like Dr. Bhaskar explained, you have so many fish, freshwater, sea salt water, etc. But in the case of meat products as such, this question will not arise. It is either you're not looking at the sheep variety or the goat species, because the genus is one, and it does not vary much across the world. But I'm sure there must be, I cannot answer this question because I'm not an expert on this, but I'm sure there must be some databases, because now next generation sequencing, the NGS sequencing has come in, and I'm sure there are databases where it shows you, a DNA profile or DNA barcoding by which you can identify the species variation. Because in meat, we do not have uh, that many, like in terms of sheep or in goat or beef, unlike the fish, which is so different.
I'll just add there, because the meat species identification, as ma'am said, is relatively simple because we're looking at a limited number of types of meat. So you can have cow, buffalo, goat, chicken, rabbit meat is also official, and so it is quite easy to do this. Even there are kits available and real-time PCR assays, and even the standard meats and the extracted DNA samples are also available as reference material. This all came into focus after the horse meat story which occurred in Europe, and after this, I think the at least the meat species identification has been quite well standardized, and you can buy the standard DNAs, standard meats, and even the mixtures with the percentage levels are available from reference material providers. So it should not be a challenge to take care of that. Another question we'll take, this is from Dr. Ajit Dua. She's asking that uh, are there any standard method performance criteria for isotopic signatures methods for honey?
Mm,
Joshi, I don't think AOAC has started
yeah, yeah,
that,
yeah,
and I
yeah.
think the isotopic ratios vary They would vary from place to place, as well as on the plants that the honeybees collect their nectar from, depending on whether they are following the Calvin cycle, that is the C3 cycle, or the C4 cycle. But I don't think currently there is any fingerprinting, although people are, there are several publications where the C12 by C13 ratio is being published, but I have not seen any database where this um, fingerprint or thing is related, because you can have a flower, the same flower, say if you're saying the eucalyptus in India, and you can have the eucalyptus in Australia, and you will get a different C12 by C13 ratio.
Okay.
Great. So one more question. In fact, I'm adding it based on what people are asking. That there's a common thing that especially in honey, when we talk about requirement for C3, C4 level of testing, this is for very sophisticated fraud. Whereas at a common level, maybe at a village or city level, we even have people just selling sugar syrup, dissolving sucrose, mixing it into a high concentration and selling it. So, ma'am, are these kind of simpler adulterants, not very sophisticated adulteration being done? I think these can be tackled by our routine chemical tests as well. We don't need to go up to C4.
Yeah. You can do this. Several methods are available. For example, you can even do the enzyme activity. If you check at the enzyme activity varies for it. And in fact, one of the targets now for checking the adulteration with sugars is to check at the, I think it's a glucoamylase, or one of those enzymes which varies depending on the thing. But what happens is when they add syrups or anything like this, even these enzyme activities will get destroyed. But there are methods where they have used simple, I think, maybe simple amino acid analysis, free amino acid analysis. If you have a profile of the free amino acid analysis of the different honeys and some ratio you can do, it should be available. But free amino acid analysis, as I said, along with some chemometric.
Yeah.
Okay, when we're doing authenticity, this statistics is very important. So you need to have somebody who has expertise, a statistician, who can do the chemometric, or you should have programs for the PCA or for the LCA or for the hierarchical cluster, and you will be able to tell it. But you can do it by simple methods. Actually, the HMF, hydroxymethyl furfural test, is also one of the tests to show whether it is adulterated. You could also check the ratio of fructose and glucose if you do it, because that also is a method by which, if you do several honey samples, you will come to know about the adulteration.
Great. So thank you so much. I think that's all for our question and answer session for now. Please continue asking questions, and we have Dr. Simon Herod also there in the chat. I see he's very actively answering questions. So please, thank you, Simon, for doing that. And please keep on with this healthy discussion. I think I'll hand over to Kanika for
Yeah.
Okay, so thank you so much, all of you, for being with us over here and answering all the questions with so much of dedication and deep explanation. Thank you so much. Thank you, Mr. Srinivas Joshi ji. Thank you, Dr. Saurabh Arora, and thank you, Dr. Lata Gobra, for joining us over here. And